I was born and raised in Utah. I grew up in a family with 6 girls, and I'm the second to the oldest. I always felt accepted by my family. And when I began to get older, around the age of 10, 12, I began to realize that I thought girls were much more interesting to be with. I enjoyed being with them. And I had feelings of wanting to hold hands with them and hug them and those kind of things that you only feel, or most people only feel, for the opposite sex. And I realized at that time that that was contrary to what I knew to be true, which was the gospel and the way I was raised. That girls and boys get together. And so I worried about that for a long time, and I wondered what I had done. I thought it was something that came with me from the pre-existence, and that I had done something, and that was my punishment. And so school went on, and those feelings didn't go away. And as I went through puberty, they got stronger. So my teenage years were very hard because I couldn't share this with anybody. But I stayed close to the church and did the things that I was supposed to do because I loved my parents. And I knew that it was right. I didn't know at that time that I knew that it was right, but I did know that it was right. So then I graduated from high school and I went away to college. I didn't want to stay home and go to college. I wanted to go away because I knew that would give me an opportunity to spread my wings and find myself. When I went away to college, the feelings just became stronger. And at that time, I decided I needed help. So I went to a church college, and I went to the counseling center that was free there to talk to someone and see what I could do about these feelings. And I walked in, I sat down with this man, and I told him what I was feeling and had for many years. And he told me I had 2 choices. I could either embrace those feelings and go and live the lifestyle, or I could hide those feelings away and stay in the church and just live my life without even acknowledging that those feelings existed. And he told me that if I chose to let anyone know and live the lifestyle, I would be excommunicated and kicked out of college. That obviously was not what I wanted to do. And I knew that if I were to tell my parents, that I would be a disappointment. So again, just decided that I was going to hide it inside of myself. Then I found someone at college that I loved very much, and she loved me. We couldn't tell our families. So for a good 2 years, I lived a double life. When I was away at college, I was with my girlfriend. When I was at home, I'd go to church. And I'd go to church once in a while at college, just to let people think that I was okay. I dated guys to hide everything. I even took some home to my family on weekends. I got engaged a couple of times, but I just couldn't go through with it because I knew that I didn't love them and I would not be making them happy, and I wouldn't be happy down the road. And I had this very strong impression that I needed to serve a mission. And I went on my mission. It was a wonderful time. I learned so much of how our Heavenly Father loves us and how much He wants us to have the joy that can come from becoming a god and a goddess. And it was great to see people's eyes light up as they realized where they came from and as they grasp onto the gospel principles. So I served my mission and I came home, and I began to do all those things that you do, go back to school and date. And dating seemed to be almost useless for me. I thought there's just no way I could ever get married. And so I reconciled myself that would be okay. I'd be okay in this life alone. I didn't need to, as long as I didn't pass up an opportunity, the Lord would give me that opportunity in the next life if I stayed true to the gospel principles. It wasn't easy, but I did. And then one day my friends wanted to go to dancing at a bar. And so I went, and I was sitting there, and there was this guy that I looked at, that I knew where he was wherever I went on that floor. And my eyes just kept going back to him. And I was like, this is really weird, because I'll do that with girls all the time, but not with guys. I was like, this is really weird. And so eventually he came and asked me to dance. And we danced and we talked, and he was not a member of the church. And we dated. But I knew that when he kissed me, I had those feelings that I had for my previous partner. And those feelings that I've only ever had for women, I had when he would kiss me. And I thought, I was attracted to this guy. This is not normal for me. There's not any guy I had ever been attracted to before. And I thought, I gotta hang on to this one. I can't let this one go. He did take the discussions, and he did join the church. And then he asked me to marry him. And so I prayed a lot about it. And I told my Heavenly Father, I said, I truly want to live your gospel. And I know that it's true that we should be married to men, and men and women should be married together. That's the family process. And that's the true way it should be. So I did get married, and I'm thankful that the Lord blessed me, that my husband did take me to the temple 6 months after we were married. And I know I had one sister come up to me and ask me if it's all worth it. If marriage is worth it when you have same-gender attraction. And I told her yes. I just want you to know that it's possible to be a member of the church and to be true to your covenants as long as you lean on your Heavenly Father and you do the things that He's asked you to do. He will bless you, and He will watch over, and He will protect you. Sometimes you'll wonder where He is. But I testify that He is there.